The men's swimming and diving team heads to West Lafayette for the Big Ten Championships this Wednesday through Saturday. The Badgers are led by Matt Hutchins, who is the defending Big Ten champion in the 500-yard freestyle and currently ranks number 2 nationally in the 1650 free. All 4 days of the championships can be seen live on BTN+. Head coach Whitney Hite is here. We'll have some opening comments and then take your questions.
Yeah, we're excited to be heading off to Purdue this week. The men's team has had a very good season. I think we're very strong in some areas, and looking to kind of continue our upward swing as far as our places in Big Ten championships. And it's fun to see them, the team, kind of mature and grow. They are super competitive, and I enjoy being in the Big Ten because you have teams like Michigan and Indiana that are perennially in the top 10. I mean, Michigan has won national championships, and they have a very, very good coaching staff, both Indiana and Michigan, and that's who we're aiming for. And we're not quite there yet, but we're a heck of a lot more competitive than we have been in the past, and that's really kind of our focus on making sure that we compete, making sure that we get the right people to the meet. The NCAA championships, our next ultimate step, and making sure that we're doing everything we need to do to ensure success at the right time.
All right. Brandon?
Matt kind of broke onto the scene last year with his championship and the 500 freestyle. What do you see from him now this year? What are you expecting for him as he's top 5 nationally in all the events he swims in?
Sure. Matt continues to improve. It's been really fun to watch. He is, a lot of times when you watch him swim, it looks like he's not really trying because he's so smooth. And then you look at the time and you're thinking, man, this kid's really moving. To say I'm surprised that he, going into last weekend had the top time in the mile in the nation. I'm not really surprised, a little bit. But I do know that the sky's the limit on that kid. He works really hard. I've really had to kind of reevaluate how I coach and some of the sets that I've given him. So he's challenged me in that way. I feel like we're one of the hardest working teams in the country, and everything I give him, he eats up and spits out and just keeps on going. So it's a joy for him. For me to coach him, and he will not be completely 100% rested. That's by design. He's got the NCAAs since he's already made his A cut and is always already going to the meet. We expect him to still compete. He's harder on himself than anybody. So I would suspect he'll be in some races, and we're hoping that he can get to the wall first. But if not, it's not a tragedy. We know that NCAAs is his main focus, and then his Olympic trials just after NCAAs. So,
what was it like having diving incorporated now in point scoring last week at the Big Ten Championships for the women, and now again for the men here? What has that addition been like with what Anton's brought to your program?
Sure, it's been really great. Anton, I've said all along, I think he's one of the best diving coaches in the country, and I really appreciate his efforts. I think that he's seen the fruits of his labor, so to speak, building the program. And the women's, as I said before, the diving was the difference between 6th and 7th for us, and that's a good thing. It's nice to have that support. It's swimming and diving, and I think we're finally at a point where it's the Wisconsin swimming and diving team. And that means a lot to me and the program. And, the men, have opportunities to do very well, and that's an exciting thing for us. You never want one or the other. It's like track and field. You don't want necessarily the field events carrying the track events and vice versa. You'd like everybody to score. And so I think it's an exciting time, and we're looking forward to what they can do.
Brian.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Cannon Clifton and is it Austin Bird? I mean, they've had a couple of nice seasons and could contend this weekend.
Yeah, and I would add Brett Pinfold into that mix as well. Austin Bird is from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He's a big kid, and he's again he's a great example of a Wisconsinite coming to school in Madison and doing really well. He works hard. He does the right things, and he's improved every year. I believe as a senior, he's going to step up and make NCAAs and go out on a really high note. There's no indication why he wouldn't. He swum well all year. Cannon and Brett are both from Texas. Kind of stole them away from Texas a couple years ago, and again, they're good out of high school, but great now. And again, I wouldn't be surprised that they do very, very well, make NCAAs individually and really have an impact at NCAAs. It's one thing to be one of the top 30 or so in the country. It's another to be one of the top 16 and score, and I think both those guys can do that. Cannon has been a really a rock for us, not only on relays but individual events. He wants to be a sprinter. We've been training him more as a mid-distance. Everyone wants to be a sprinter. I'm sure Matt Hutchins wants to be a sprinter. But he's versatile as far as, he's going to lead off our 800 free relay, but we expect him to place very high individually in the 50 and the 100 free. Brett Pinfold is one of the most versatile swimmers in the country. He can swim freestyle, he can swim IM, he can swim backstroke. If we needed him to, he could probably do a little bit of butterfly, but he really, we can plug him in a lot of different areas, and he is really, really good. So excited to see that.